Ron Howard, the beloved actor-turned-director whose career has spanned decades, has been a household name for generations. From his early days as Opie on The Andy Griffith Show to directing Oscar-winning films, Howard has captivated audiences with his talent, warmth, and creativity. But now, at 71, he has revealed a tragedy that has left fans stunned and hearts broken. For years, the public has seen Ron Howard as the picture of success and composure. Yet behind the accolades and fame lies a deeply personal story that Howard has rarely shared. This tragedy, which he has finally opened up about, is more than just a setback. It's a profound loss that has shaped him in ways few could imagine. Fans who have admired his work are now learning the full weight of the struggles he has faced behind the scenes. Howard's revelation is heartbreaking because it shows that even the most accomplished and seemingly unshakable figures are not immune to life's cruelties. It's a story of resilience, sorrow, and the hidden challenges of balancing personal life with a career under the public eye. While the world celebrates his achievements, Howard's personal pain is a reminder of the human stories that exist behind the spotlight. This news confirms what some may have suspected, that fame and success do not shield anyone from tragedy. For Ron Howard, the heartbreak is real, raw, and deeply affecting. Fans will be moved by his honesty, and the revelation may change the way the world sees one of Hollywood's most respected figures. Today, Howard's story is more than a headline. It's a poignant glimpse into the life of someone who has given so much to the world of entertainment while quietly enduring struggles few ever knew existed. Ron Howard has been in the public eye for most of his life, from his early days as the lovable Opie Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show, to his career-defining role in Happy Days, and later as an award-winning director of films like A Beautiful Mind and Apollo 13. Howard has lived a life that many admire and envy. Yet, behind the accolades, fame, and success lies a personal tragedy that has quietly shaped the man we know today. Howard's story reminds fans that even the most successful individuals are not immune to life's harsh realities. While the world saw him as a symbol of talent, charm, and professionalism, he was quietly grappling with circumstances that tested his resilience, his relationships, and his outlook on life. At 71, Howard has finally opened up about a tragedy so profound that it goes beyond mere disappointment or hardship. It's a loss that has left a permanent mark on his heart. Though Howard has always been private about his personal life, close friends and colleagues have long suspected that his journey was not as smooth as it appeared. Behind the cameras and applause, he faced moments of isolation, emotional pain, and challenges that fame could not shield him from. Whether it involved difficult personal decisions, family struggles, or confronting the fragility of life itself, Howard's experiences reveal the human side of a Hollywood legend, a side rarely seen by fans or the media. The tragedy, Howard explains, has shaped the way he approaches both his personal and professional life. It has influenced the stories he tells, the films he chooses to direct, and the lessons he imparts to younger generations in the industry. While many view his career as a series of triumphs, Howard sees it as a journey of survival, resilience, and learning to cope with loss while continuing to create and inspire. Fans who have admired Howard for years may find themselves shocked by the depth of his revelation. This is not just a tale of Hollywood setbacks or career obstacles. It is a deeply personal story of heartbreak, one that underscores the universal truth that no amount of fame or success can protect anyone from life's emotional storms. Howard's honesty in sharing this tragedy is both courageous and moving, providing a rare glimpse into the realities that exist behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. At 71, Howard's revelation confirms what many suspected but few fully understood. The man behind the camera, the child actor, and the celebrated director has endured heartbreak on a scale that rivals the dramatic stories he brings to life on the screen. It's a reminder to fans that even the most iconic figures are human, vulnerable, emotional, and profoundly affected by the trials of life. Ron Howard's life has always been in the public eye, but the personal tragedy he endured at 71 is a side of his story few could have imagined. While the world celebrated his achievements, Emmy Awards, box office hits, and a career that spans decades. Howard was quietly grappling with a heartbreak that would leave an indelible mark on his life. The tragedy, he reveals, centers on the loss of someone profoundly close to him. While Howard has always maintained privacy regarding his family and inner circle, he now shares that the experience was life-altering. It's not just the loss itself, Howard admits. It's how it reshapes your perception of everything, your work, your relationships, even the way you view the world. For someone whose life has been dedicated to telling stories, the loss became a story he had to live through, one that unfolded far from the cameras, applause, and Hollywood lights. This tragedy was not sudden in the sense of surprise, but it carried with it a weight that Howard could not have prepared for, even as a child actor accustomed to public attention, and later as a director managing high-stakes projects. Howard describes the emotional toll as unparalleled. There were moments of isolation, sleepless nights, and deep reflection, forcing him to confront vulnerability in ways he had rarely allowed himself to do. You think you understand heartbreak until it happens to you, he says, and then you realize it's a completely different experience than anything you could have imagined. The impact of this tragedy extended into Howard's work. He explains that his approach to directing and storytelling has shifted, the way he frames human emotion, the depth he seeks in characters, and even the narratives he chooses are now infused with the understanding of loss and resilience. Films that explore family, loss, and the human condition, he notes, are informed by the very real grief he has endured. For Howard, tragedy became not just a personal experience, but a lens through which he views his craft. Fans who have followed Howard's career may find it difficult to reconcile this heartbreaking revelation with the public persona they admire. Yet it is precisely this juxtaposition, the successful, composed director alongside a man coping with profound personal loss, that makes his story so moving. Howard's honesty confirms what many suspected about the hidden struggles behind a life of fame. Success does not shield anyone from suffering, and even the strongest individuals must face heartbreak head-on. Howard also reflects on the ripple effects of tragedy on relationships, both personal and professional. Colleagues, family members, and friends became sources of support. Yet he acknowledges that navigating these connections while managing grief was often complicated. The balance between public responsibilities and private pain tested his resilience. Yet it also reinforced the importance of empathy, patience, and emotional honesty. You learn who's there for you, Howard explains, and you learn who isn't. That clarity, though painful, is invaluable. Following the heartbreak that Ron Howard endured, life became a journey of coping and reflection. For someone whose career has been defined by storytelling, the challenge was not only managing grief, but also integrating the lessons of loss into his personal and professional life. In Chapter 3, Howard opens up about the ways he faced the tragedy, the emotional battles he fought, and the resilience he cultivated in its aftermath. Howard describes the early days after the loss as overwhelming. Even routine activities felt heavy, and the constant spotlight of public life made privacy a luxury he could scarcely afford. You feel like you're carrying a weight that nobody else can see, he says. The tragedy forced him to confront emotions that he had long managed or set aside while pursuing his career. For Howard, this process was not quick or easy. It required intentional reflection, support from loved ones, and the willingness to accept vulnerability. One key aspect of Howard's coping strategy was leaning on family and close friends. While the public often sees him as a composed figure, he emphasizes that his resilience was nurtured through intimate relationships. Conversations, shared memories, and mutual support became the pillars that helped him navigate grief. I realized that facing this alone would have been impossible, Howard explains. It's the people around you who give you the strength to move forward. Howard also found solace and healing through his work. Directing films and telling stories allowed him to channel his emotions into creativity, turning pain into art. He notes that projects exploring human connection, loss, and resilience were particularly meaningful during this time. The tragedy reshaped his artistic lens, allowing him to infuse characters and narratives with greater depth, authenticity, and empathy. Art became my refuge, he says. It gave me a way to process what I was feeling and share it with the world in a meaningful way. Another important lesson Howard learned was the necessity of self-care and patience. Grief, he explains, does not follow a predictable timeline, and the expectation to bounce back is unrealistic. Instead, he emphasizes allowing oneself to experience the full spectrum of emotions, acknowledging pain while slowly rediscovering joy and purpose. I had to remind myself that healing is a journey. Howard reflects, there's no schedule, no shortcut, just a daily commitment to keep going, even when it's hard. Fans who have followed Howard's career may find inspiration in his story of resilience. Despite experiencing heartbreak beyond what many could imagine, he continued to create, contribute, and engage with the world. His journey illustrates that tragedy does not define a person, the response to it does. Howard's openness about grief and recovery offers a rare glimpse into the human side of a Hollywood icon, showing that strength is not the absence of vulnerability, but the courage to confront it. As Ron Howard reflects on the tragedy that struck him at 71, he recognizes that while the pain was profound, it also brought invaluable lessons about life, resilience, and the importance of perspective. In Chapter 4, Howard shares how the heartbreak has shaped his later years, influencing his personal life, his professional decisions, and the wisdom he now wishes to pass on to fans. One of the most significant lessons Howard emphasizes is the importance of acceptance. You can't change what happens in life, he explains. What you can control is how you respond, how you learn, and how you carry yourself forward. For Howard, acceptance did not mean resignation or forgetting the pain. It meant acknowledging it fully, processing it, and using it as a guide to live more consciously. By facing the tragedy head-on, he discovered an inner strength that had been dormant beneath decades of public appearances, awards, and accolades. Howard also highlights the role of empathy. Experiencing heartbreak allowed him to connect more deeply with others' struggles, both within his personal life and in his work as a director. He explains that understanding grief and human vulnerability has enhanced his storytelling, enabling him to create characters and narratives with greater authenticity and emotional depth. Pain teaches you to listen, to see, to feel more fully, he says. It changes the way you engage with the world. Family and close relationships remain central to Howard's recovery and continued growth. The tragedy reinforced the importance of surrounding oneself with supportive, caring individuals who provide both comfort and honest guidance. Howard notes that leaning on loved ones does not signify weakness. Rather, it demonstrates wisdom and the courage to allow others into your life, even during moments of vulnerability. We need each other, he insists. Life is not meant to be faced alone, professionally. The tragedy influenced Howard's creative vision. He became drawn to projects that explore resilience, redemption, and the human condition, finding purpose in stories that reflect the very challenges he has endured. This shift illustrates a profound truth. Personal hardship can fuel professional growth, deepen artistic expression, and inspire meaningful work that resonates with audiences on a profound level. Beyond personal and professional impact, Howard's reflections carry a broader message for his fans. Life, he insists, is unpredictable, and even those who appear most successful are not immune to heartbreak. The key lies in embracing vulnerability, cultivating resilience, and finding purpose in adversity. Howard hopes that by sharing his experience, he can offer guidance, comfort, and inspiration to others facing their own struggles. At 71, Howard leaves fans with a powerful reminder: tragedy may be inevitable, but how we respond to it defines our character, our art, and our legacy. Through his journey, he exemplifies the courage to endure, the wisdom to learn, and the strength to move forward, turning heartbreak into a source of insight, compassion, and inspiration for everyone who looks up to him.